Thank you. So just on that, before we get into other related issues, so is there any immediate action coming from these latest incidents? Or?
No sanctions that I can announce today, but it is incidents like this in the past that have led us to impose sanctions, and we certainly will be looking at this one as we have looked at others to see, first of all, if the government of Israel takes steps to impose accountability, and if they don't, what we might do on our end.
And have you made your concerns clear to the Israeli government, other than you just saying it?
We have. Yes, we have.
To whom?
To the government of Israel. We had from our embassy to the government. We made clear our concerns.
Okay, and that was obviously today.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I just go to the aid situation in Gaza, or the humanitarian situation in Gaza with the aid? You've seen also that, I expect you've seen that Israel has terminated its agreement with UNRWA today, following the passage of the legislation which you opposed early last week. One, what's your reaction to that? And then two, the humanitarian situation in Gaza has gotten worse rather than better since the letter Secretaries Blinken and Austin sent. So how does the end of this agreement with UNRWA affect, in your view, the ability of Israel to meet the conditions laid out in the letter?
So first of all, we're reviewing the letter to understand whether there are any immediate implications. We understand that the law doesn't go into effect for 90 days. If this letter means something happening more immediate than 90 days, which would be, happened past a week ago, so something like 83 days from now, that's something we would want to understand and we would want to take into account. But we're endeavoring now to learn exactly what the implication, if any, of that letter is, separate and apart from the legislation that's already passed and has a 90-day timetable on it. We, as you noted, we're quite clear that we oppose that legislation. We have serious concerns about the implications of it being fully implemented, as well as our concerns about the underlying humanitarian situation in Gaza even before Israel passed this legislation that relates to the inability of a sufficient number of trucks to get into Gaza and the inability of humanitarian workers, for a variety of reasons, to be able to deliver that aid to places inside Gaza, to the people that need it. So we have been engaged with the government of Israel on this since long before we sent the letter, but really about a number of steps that we think they need to take since the Secretary of Defense, Austin, sent that letter on October 14th. The Secretary talked to the Minister of Strategic Affairs on Friday, Ron Dermer, about that, where we stand. I expect that he will talk to further Israeli officials later today about what steps they have already taken, what more they can do. They have told us at various stages that there are a number of steps that they have in process that they haven't completed yet. We're paying close attention to that, and we'll pay close attention to that over the coming days.
All right. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, or on any scale that you would like, how have they complied or not complied with the requests or demands, frankly, that were in the letter?
Let me do it on a pass-fail instead of trying to give a grade. And that on a pass-fail basis,
well, that is a grade.
They have, a letter grade, a percentage grade, a pass-fail. And that as of today, the situation has not significantly turned around. We have seen an increase in some measurements. We've seen an increase in the number of crossings that are open. But just if you look at the stipulated recommendations in the letter, those have not been met at this point.
So that's a fail.
We're not at the end of the period yet. They have not. If you look at the what we ultimately judge, what we ultimately judge on, which is the results on the ground, the results are not good enough today.
Right. No. So that's a fail.
They certainly do not have a passing grade. They have failed. I said they have failed to implement all of the things that we recommend in that letter. Now, that said, we are not at the end of the 30-day period, and we are in conversation.
Not ready to give them
it's not the end of the semester. You don't hand out grades in the
Okay,
middle.
well,
in the
I
middle.
suspect that the levity is a little bit inappropriate.
No,
But look, you guys say they haven't done enough, so it's a fail at this point.
We are not at the end of where we are able to make an assessment. But I can tell you, the situation has not been good enough for some time, and the situation has not improved sufficiently in the 21, 22 days, whatever it is, since we sent that letter.
Okay.
There is still a week or so to go until we reach the end of the period, but there is much more that we need to see them do.
Thank you.